Welcome to the No Bull Political Arena with your hosts, Sophia Nelson, Bill O'Reilly, Brian Mistro, and TJ McCormick. It's real voices, raw politics, and no bullshit. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Political Arena. This is our first time doing a four-person panel live. So if we have a little couple of bumps in the way, anything could happen. Probably will happen. So if it does happen, listen, just blame Bill. That's what I do. So, anyways, yeah. So this is Brian Mistra. I'm here with Lauren Coombe. Thanks for joining us again, Lauren. I'm here with Bill O'Reilly and of course TJ McCormick. And you know what we got to dive into. This is if you've been following us or me for the political arena for any time at all, I have been talking about yeah, yeah, and I'm not even sure a tenth. I think it had been done. Okay, so yeah. Oh, they're furious. Yeah, no, I agree. It's for those that don't know, what I'll call the establishment Republicans. That would be of all people, Tim Scott, Thune, McConnell, the whole group of them were asking and damn near begging Trump, do not endorse him, do not get involved in this race, help Cornyn win, because at the end of the day, that we something we can all agree on is you now have a Republican that had an incredible amount of leverage and time in the Senate, its tenure in the Senate, and that's gone now. Whoever comes in is going to be a freshman, whether it be Paxton or whether it be Tallarico. TJ, you disagree? You disagree a little bit on Tallarico. I know that you and I have disagreed on this. You don't think he's got a good shot at it. New York.
saying fuck him. Anyway, I three words. God is non-binary.
Yes, all right.
You
Three
know,
and a, three and a half, three and a half, maybe. Like
God is non-binary, right? Uh, that's all you need, right, Lauren?
But
This is
what about all the like the impeachment stuff? I mean, I feel like that's kind of like sells itself too. I mean, I think it's both going to be plastered everywhere, just negative ads everywhere.
Oh
it's
yeah,
going to be a fun one to watch. This is going to be a
there's
blast
going
to
to be
no,
a
Lauren,
watch.
ton
but
of money in this race.
but Lauren's point is exactly right. I mean, his own party in Texas went to impeach him.
Impeached him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Impeached
I
him.
read
Yeah,
today
yeah.
that $6.6 million of taxpayer money went towards settling with the guys because I guess the guys that blew the whistle on him sued him,
hmm
and then he settled using taxpayer money. I was like, that's not really flattering. I mean, like, don't
right,
And
you know
right,
that could have
right.
gone to like some roads or something. So
Yeah,
everyone in Texas will know that in 6 weeks.
Oh,
yeah,
Every
for
single
sure.
person in Texas.
exactly.
Yeah.
But in the end, I just can't imagine in the year 2026
I'm with
that
yeah,
a
yeah.
kid like Tallarico. And look, I just can't see it. I just can't imagine it coming down to crunch time when people have to go
Hmm.
out there and and I know you're not saying that suddenly these even non-MAGA Republicans they're not gonna go and pull the lever for him, but I just
Yeah,
think
they're not. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they're just not
they
going
can
to vote.
stay
I know a
home.
lot of people that aren't voting.
Yeah, they just won't vote
Yeah.
for him. Yeah. And by the way, let's just make something clear. All right, TJ. What's going to kill him is not going to be the non-binary thing. It's going to be when he said, "I'm a vegan." Okay, that's it right there. This is Texas
in
barbecue.
Texas.
All right, you never say that's career-ending stuff right there. So next thing you know, he'll be putting vinegar on his barbecue, and that shit's hit. They'll ship him back up to you guys in New
North,
York.
Ah,
North
ha, ha.
Carolina.
Oh my
Well, one
god.
thing's for sure, and Lauren, I know you've been reading some stuff on this, but it's going to be just a ton of money in that race. He raised, I think it was last quarter, $27 million, I think, just by himself. It set a new record for anybody in a quarter in a Senate race. So
For Paxton or Tallarico?
Tallarico did. Yeah, Tallarico did.
Um,
And I don't know
yeah, I
what
think
kind
they're
of
going to
money
put a lot of money
Paxton's going
into
to
it.
get because, well, Paxton's not, remember the NRSC that was dumping the money into that was supporting Cornyn. Okay, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure where some of that money's going to come from, Bill. I mean, is he's going to get some donors? I'm not saying he's not because they're going to say the same thing that the four of us would say, and that is if I had to pick who the next senator from Texas is going to be, it's most likely going to be Paxton. But they're
Right.
also
And
going to say, I can't stand the son of a bitch. And
yeah.
I'm pissed off that they did this because I've already spent money to try to get Cornyn reelected, okay, in the primary. And, they may stay home too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the party itself, the established party, and the Senate. I mean, they'll all rally around Paxton, and after tonight, I probably do too. And I probably TJ. You know what I mean? But was he the ideal candidate or the better candidate? I don't think so.
No.
But that's who the people went with. That's who the voters went with. I mean, I think the Senate gets back. They get back. Behind him because it's a majority issue. They lose the Senate majority, they're all out of power. They have nothing. Their
Now you
offices
lose
shrink.
Texas, that
Every
would be,
budget
yeah.
shrink. Everything shrinks. Right. So they'll bite the bullet and do what they need to keep Paxton, keep that Senate seat.
Yeah, but do you see him getting along with Thune and with Collins and Murkowski? And he's not going to get along with them.
Not necessarily,
He's
but
going
it
to be a
doesn't
damn
matter.
pariah. He's just going to be a damn pariah for them. So
But it doesn't
it's gonna
matter.
make the Senate more dysfunctional. I think. Now you could say, well, actually, a Pax, Tallarico would make it more dysfunctional. I mean, you could make that argument as a Republican, but I don't know. The guy has a very long history, and it's a bad history in Texas. So we called this one right. Um, so let's move on to something else, and I'm going to go ahead and read this for the folks that are just listening to us and are not watching. Um, the fact that this administration is having a tough time even getting Tehran to the starting gate for negotiations on Trump's biggest issue, and that's stopping Iran's nuclear development, argues poorly for any eventual success. Uh, Bill, this is really your wheelhouse in a lot of this, and I defer to a whole lot of stuff that you know because you know a lot of the stuff that's gone on it. The only thing I'm going to say is that I wasn't necessarily against doing what he did. My issue has always been who's doing what he did, and
Yeah,
uh,
and the process. Yeah,
and the
yeah,
president, I mean, okay, I'm just going to go out and say it again. He's fucking it up. Okay, he's screwing this whole process up. He's committed America. I don't see how he can get out of this without with Iran and be happy with Iran controlling the Strait of Hormuz, us having no nuclear deal, and giving them a load of cash. I mean, we're seeing all kinds of reports coming in left and right. It's hard to tell what's real and what's not, but one thing is real, and these two sides are not talking, and they're not connecting. Where does this go from here, Bill?
I think it probably goes to negotiation, but he, I would think he should start the bombing again if it was my call. I do the bombing again because they're playing games, they're stalling for time. The Iranians are great at that. That's what they're doing. They want a nuclear weapon. The president of Iran said yesterday that Israel would cease to exist within 15 years because Iran would finish it off, and again call for death to America. So to me, like, this is ugly. This is not pretty. It's not a pretty campaign, and I think Trump does rush into things, and there's possible unintended consequences that could happen. Absolutely, all those things. But to me, setting Iran back militarily as much as we have, and keeping an eye on those nukes is worth it at the end of the day. I feel better when I take my last breath. I'll feel better for my children, and hopefully I'll have grandchildren by then, because I think Iran was the biggest threat in the world of starting a nuclear war.
Hmm.
They've always been really volatile. I don't love the way it looks. I don't at all. And in fact, the fact that President Trump, basically threatened Oman today. Oman was talking with Saudi Arabia. It's like, we'll control the strait. It's not really how you should do negotiations. One thing, we cannot walk away with a toll on the Strait of Hormuz. That has to be negotiated away.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah. I know you've talked about this, and I've seen you posting a bit about it too, Lauren. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I definitely don't. I defer to just people that have been paying attention longer than I have, honestly, for war stuff. And that, I mean, that's really interesting, Bill. I I just it looks very not organized to me, I will say. And I just don't really like Hegseth doesn't really rub me the right way. I don't know why Marco Rubio is not more involved in like the negotiations. Like he keeps sending Witkoff and Kushner, and I feel like that doesn't. I don't really know why. But yeah, I mean, I definitely was not ignorant to the threat of Iran. I just don't know if this should have been executed in this way.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's a fair point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah. I try
That's
to
a
read a
fair
lot about it,
position.
but
That's a very fair position. I mean, look, war is scary, man, especially when, in that region and you're engaging and look, Trump's biggest fans are, a lot of them are fans because of you don't know what's coming next. They dig this, and yet this means, he ain't Eisenhower. He ain't
it
when
is a
he ain't.
benefit, though, kind of honestly, for like the world. Like
Yes.
they don't know what the heck he's gonna do. So
Exactly, exactly. And look, and again, I thought it was folly to, 2, 3 months ago be saying, what's the plan? Let's know. Tell the people that at the top. Tell people shit. Matter of fact, I don't want him telling people shit. We duked it out here on the arena over that. I mean, again, was the world media clamoring and demanding that FDR and Churchill tell everybody where D-Day was happening, and how dare they not tell us, and how dare they? We're hearing word that you have Indian Americans who are talking in a code. Is this true? And how dare you not tell it? Shut the fuck up, man. Shut up, and stop being stupid. We're not going to tell you. It's fucking war. It's friggin' war. And so a war against the worst of the worst. So yeah, yeah, I'm with Bill. I think we need to crush them under our thumb once again, and make a statement with some more military action.
Well, so I guess I'm probably the furthest right on this. I was completely against Trump doing it because it was Trump, not because it's the wrong thing to do. Um, but they're not going to be weaker than where they're at right now. Period. I mean, there's not a scenario that
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
see realistically where they're going to be weaker. And there's not a. But the problem is that there's not a scenario right now where they feel more emboldened. They've locked
Mm.
down the strait, so. and it's really easy for me to say because I'm out of the draft age, but I do have two boys that aren't. Matter of fact, they
Yep.
would be right in the middle of the draft age.
I've got friends
But
who have sons there. Yeah. They're
yeah,
on ships there right now. Yep.
I am all for the bombing if it'll do any good. And I've been honest with this. I think at this point he's already stepped in the bucket of shit. The only way you're going to get it off is most likely going to be boots on the ground. And if that means us taking over and in a full-on invasion, I think we have to have that discussion because them having at this point, if you walk away and they control the strait, or you don't do something with their uranium, if you don't do something with their capabilities as a terrorist nation to hit Israel or any other countries, and by the way, some of those countries are Europe. By the way, some of those countries that can be hit are Europe. Just nudge, nudge,
Yep. Yep.
allies.
Sure. Sure.
If we can't do that through bombing, I think you have to accelerate it, and I think it needs to go through Congress. I think that they need to draft a full formal war resolution. I don't see, from my perspective, why how we get away from that because the consequences of not doing that are just too much. They're just terrible. I think they're too
Right.
terrible for our kids.
Would that vote
Excuse me.
go down party lines, you think? Do you think
Well,
that
they
would
just
be
did
like a
one.
Oh,
They
huh?
just
that's a
did a
good
war powers
question. I mean, there's going to
resolution,
be the
right?
asshole Democrats that doesn't matter what Trump puts out, they're going to vote it down, right? So,
I think it's party line vote. I think
yeah,
Yeah,
but
few exceptions.
yeah, with a
which
few
would
Fetterman,
be
some.
which
exceptions.
would be which would be great fodder for Republicans going into the midterms.
Yeah, well, what about Rand Paul? Which side is he going to stand on? Because
Yeah,
I,
he's
he's
not
voted
going to do
against it
it.
every
well,
time.
it won't be. It won't be. It won't be. Yeah, it won't be everybody. It won't be
Yeah,
everybody.
it won't be
And
everybody.
Cassidy just flipped too. He didn't vote for it last time it came up. So it's like, why did he flip?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't.
But what I worry about also, and I'm just kind of thinking out loud, is the effect of the war, like the negatives. You always have to look for those unintended consequences. Like as conservatives, that's the first thing you do. It's like
Mm-hmm.
if we do this, what happens? You know what I mean?
Right.
What does
Right.
that screw up anything that's been working forever?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm worried. Like I think we have a legitimate disagreement with Europe and the NATO powers, and we're shooting stuff back and forth. But I am concerned that it's going to go too far.
hmm.
I do not want to hand Europe to, I mean, me, who am I? I don't think we should hand Europe to Russia. And there's nothing that the Europeans could do. Well, I don't know. Russia's pretty weak right now, but over time, I don't think that's a good idea. I think we need to bring the rhetoric back a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Even
I'm
though
very
even
concerned
though the
about that.
Europeans bug the crap out of me, I know he's already going his chin. He's ready to go. But I worry that one of the effects of this will be to would be to divide the coalition, the English speaking coalition in particular.
Are you saying that Israel would do, not Israel, I mean, Iran would be the division part, or are you thinking Ukraine?
I think just the fact that a lot of the NATO allies are not pleased with the way we did this,
Oh,
and
yeah,
we kind of
justifiably.
unilateral and all the
In
rest
my
of it.
opinion, justifiably, but yeah.
I agree. We're allies. They have not paid their fair share. They're in big trouble demographically. Like there's a lot of stuff that the Europeans needed a wake up call, and I think Trump gives it to them. But I still worry that the relationship could be permanently damaged, and we can't afford that.
Yeah,
We're America. We're crazy strong. We're the most powerful country in the world. We're the richest country in the world. We produce the most in the world. We've got everything going, but we can't go it alone always.
No,
We need to have friends.
and so,
And they weren't friends, and they, even in the simplest,
I hear you.
easiest way, they were not
I hear you.
friends.
I hear you.
I mean, and it's funny, it's interesting because I mean, God, it was Tony Blair today. Tony Blair is in the news today talking about how Starmer screwed up by not letting us at least use
Diego Garcia. Yeah.
the airports,
Yep.
the air bases, airports, the bases, and that's become kind of the standard way of thinking is that
yeah.
they said no too much in this
Well,
particular, and there were
that was
easy
chicken
passive
shit.
ways. Yeah.
That was chicken shit. I mean,
yeah. I
it's
don't know
that's
why
that
if they did that just because they were mad. Like I don't.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it
it's
seems
just
kind
Yeah.
of
chicken
petty.
shit.
Well, scared. And again, look, this is, Europe operates off the back foot. The English speaking coalition operates off the back foot in Europe. They're scared of offending and frankly, I think they're scared of the the migrants. I think they're scared of them, of the Muslim migrants, and I think they're scared for their women and their, but they're not willing to do what it takes to actually protect who is potentially in danger because of this out of control migration and complete lack of whatchamacallit, please help me, when
Immigration,
assimilation,
assimilation.
assimilation.
Simulation.
You know,
Why
Yeah.
do they have so much migration? Like, is that because of displacement? Like, I don't understand.
In part.
Well, didn't part
well,
of
in
that
part,
started
It's in part.
with the war, right? The first
In Syria?
Iran. No, well,
Syria was
Syria
part
got
of
part
it.
of it, but the
Yep.
even the
Oh,
Iraq war, and then Libya too. They got a lot of folks from Libya, as I recall.
yeah. I feel like they
yeah,
kind of get
yeah,
stuck with that. Like, isn't that
North
kind of sucky?
Africans and
But a lot of it, Lauren, is that it people who came to Europe and some to come to America, but really more in Europe. It's a different situation in Europe to a great extent. They come from failed countries. They're countries with policies
Yeah.
that drive the economy into the ground. They're not modern. They're not inventing things. They're not
Yeah, I feel like that
technologically
sucks for
savvy.
them, though. Doesn't that
Right.
kind of suck?
So if they see an open door, they're going to take it.
Mm.
yeah.
Just like my ancestors came from Ireland during the famine and came to the U.S. There was an
Yeah.
open door. They took it.
All right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I want
people
to
do
ask
it,
you.
but we did it legally, and I support it
Right.
legally.
And
But
they
it
came here and
to
they came
assimilate,
right, and to
Yes.
contribute. They've I think they've already eclipsed that point now in the UK, for example, where now you have the majority of people that are you have more people on the dole than are contributing to the dole.
What does the dole mean?
Uh, uh,
Welfare.
public
Yeah.
assistance,
Welfare.
welfare.
Oh, okay.
It's not, it's just completely unsustainable. And that, look, and again, as you know, with me, I'm in a very unsophisticated way, I'm always going back to the left, the left, the left. But you know what? Look, it's the left that has now broadened the definition of asylum. You've got I mean, to the extent where their good friends in the media regularly refer to all immigrants writ large as asylum seekers. Watch the BBC or Sky News for 15 minutes, and you will see references to asylum seekers, and they're just showing you the entire movement, all migrants. And I'm sorry, but they're not. And it's not okay. It's not okay. And they got a big problem, and they're all afraid to make. That's why Reform UK, which is kind of pretty much their MAGA, is making great inroads, and why it's a very real possibility that there could be a Prime Minister Nigel Farage
Hmm.
in the next 2 years.
Huh. Well, so you talked about Bill opening the doors. So I want to talk about another open door,
Yep.
Taiwan. So I just read a few days ago that
Love their noodles.
I read a few days ago that we had a shipment that we were going to sell to them, and we're sitting on it after his meeting in China. As far as I know, that shipment of military aid has not gone anywhere. Um, how does this affect China? I mean, and our relationship in Taiwan. Don't forget that the majority, I think it's of the not the chips, but the what is that's made there? That they make the majority of it on the
Processors.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
anyways, it's a certain part of it. But long story short,
Congress approved that, right?
I think
Sorry.
it's all been
Yes.
approved, but
I think they
Yes.
did. Yeah.
sitting on it. You and I have talked about this before, Bill. I am been consistently concerned that he's going to tell China, we're not going to fool with
Yeah.
that.
I'm speculating here. I don't have any special knowledge, but the way I see that, I think the U.S. is negotiating that way right now because we're vulnerable with that fleet out in the Gulf, and the Chinese have ultrasonic missiles that could take down carriers. That's what they claim. We'll see.
Right.
That they're so fast and they could send several many at a time, but they're so fast that we wouldn't be able to stop them. And so we can't afford to lose carriers.
Can't lose a
So I think
carrier. Can't
you
lose a
can't lose the
carrier.
carrier. So I think it's ask Japan, right? But I think it's probably part of the negotiation. We'll slow walk some of the equipment that we're sending, but I hope that equipment gets there too, Brian, because we're pro Taiwan and we
Yeah.
have been in this
I was
country. Well, at least
relieved to see what he said, actually. Trump, he was asked that question, and he pretty much stated the same thing that every other president has stated about Taiwan, So
Yeah.
I was happy to see that out of him, actually, like a he didn't say anything outlandish.
You know, Bill just mentioned Japan. I'd like to nominate, by the way, here we are coming up on June. So we're almost at the halfway point of 2026. So I'd like to put in an early nomination for Moment of the Year, which was at the in the Oval Office when Trump said, hey, you know, surprises. He's sitting there with the Prime Minister of Japan and says, you people know something about surprises, don't you? Don't want to get me started on that. We don't want to ask them about surprises, right?
Oh, yeah, that was a
Gotcha.
classic.
He was
Almost,
horrified.
almost as good as President George H.W. Bush throwing up in the premier's lap. Remember that
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
The Japanese premier.
That was
lap.
over there,
What?
right? That
I
was
didn't know that one.
that was overseas, right?
Years ago. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh, that's
God.
mortifying.
Oh my
You
God.
guys know something about surprises. Holy
I know.
shit.
I mean, he
It's
gets the balls on him. Like, I
I
just
love
can't.
him. I love him. I really oh, I love him for that.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Everybody, please subscribe to our channel. It's if you're watching this right now, it's on YouTube. It's at No Bull Media Group. The subscription is free. If you like it, press the like button. Leave a comment. We'll read it out loud. We'll talk about it on the show, especially if it's something that makes TJ look really bad. I would love to get some feedback on that. But yeah, please join it and listen. As for if you're not watching it, okay, we're now recording the Hinge of History live. We just started today, and that is a nonpartisan show. It's all about AI and about the future for the planet. So a non-political show, but we also have
Hosted by robots.
yeah, right. So, and we also have Restoring the American Dream, which is similar to the political arena, but we deep dive into subjects a little bit more like the old 60 Minutes. But thank you for joining us, everybody. Really appreciate it. We will see you again tomorrow. And thanks, Bill. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, TJ. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
Guys.
Good night, everyone.
The No Bull
Bye.
Political
Guys,
Arena is on
surprise.
all major social media platforms. Make sure to give us and your host a follow.
Hey everybody, this is Sophia Nelson. Follow me at I am Sophia Nelson on every one of my social media platforms.
I'm Bill O'Reilly, and you can reach me at Twitter at WFBOR.
Hey, this is TJ. Follow me on X or Twitter at TJ McCormack.
This is Brian Mistro, and you can follow me on X at Brian_Mistro or follow along on Facebook at Brian.Mistro.
A No Bull Media Group member.